It has been a while. Oh, wait a minute. I need to fix a couple things on here. Hold on. Oh, shoot. Okay, I think I messed up. All right, we'll have to fix it later. Anyway, hi. It's been a while, as usual. I'm not very active on here much anymore because, it's often kind of like, what am I doing? What do I have to say? My life feels normal now. Well, actually, it doesn't feel normal, it feels regular. And I'm not a big fan of regular. So, hi, everybody. Wow, that was nice. It's fast. You guys jumping on. You must have your notifications set. That's very good. That's very good because although I'm not regular on here anymore, I do pop up every now and then. So, I came on because I felt like I had something to say. I don't know if I'd call it an epiphany, but I've had some interesting conversations with people lately. And one of them today in particular really made me think. And I'll share with you what I thought about it. And you can tell me, excuse me, what, you can share in the comments or just talk among yourselves and your friends and family, whatever, what you think about it. So here's the deal. We all have experiences in our lives that we can say affected us in a certain way, or it made us happy, it made us sad, it made us pensive or angry, anything. All kinds of things happen. And it can be like an event that you had with another person or an experience with another person, an event maybe that you went to. I went to the US Open. It was amazing. And I felt excited. Anything like that. And it's not just events. It's just we have, we can talk about how a thing like a tangible object makes us feel. You get a new car and you feel like, ooh, yeah, I feel wonderful. I love my car, all those kinds of things. And so the conversation I was having, someone shared with me that she was talking about money and how people can have emotional attachments to money. So that if let's say you look in your bank account and you only have, I don't know, $5,000 in your bank account, and you're like, oh no, I'm in trouble because I have, XYZ to pay, and what am I going to do? And it makes you feel nervous and like fearful about the possibilities that you're not going to have enough and all that type stuff, right? So that might be the value you assign to having $5,000 in your bank account. Somebody else might have $5,000 in their bank account and be overjoyed. Like, yes, this is great because, think about refugees. Maybe they see they have $5,000 access to that. They can start a new life potentially, right? They can come to this country and people come with nothing and just less than zero. So that might mean something really significant to them. So the point is, it's what we choose to make something mean. And that could be like what somebody said to you, just anything. There are no limits to that. And so I was taking a walk. I like to take my nature walks. I did a 5.5 mile hike today and it felt really good. But I love doing that because it's a time where I can really think and reflect and like kind of consider different points of view or, just whatever, download my life, all that. And so I was thinking about this notion of, emotional attachments to things and all that. And so I thought about like basic algebra, right? Like x plus y. You guys remember that? So x plus y equals whatever. But if I just say to you, what is x? Just period, that's all. Nothing else to it. Just what is x? What's your answer? I don't know. Well, I need more information, right? Maybe. But, um, I can give you more of the equation. If I could say x equals 2y or whatever, 10,000 y equals 1x. It all depends upon value, right? What value are we assigning to something? So instead of saying, well, what's x? And you're like, I don't know. The bottom line is x is whatever we say it is. So if I say x is 3 or x is yellow or x is happy, then you can go, oh, okay, then I can make some sense of that. I can connect it to a thing or a thought or event, and then I decide what that thing or thought or event means. So if I tell you x is 3, like in algebra, and you see, okay, 3x equals, 60 cents, you can figure out what the value of x is. And so, pardon me, we do that in our lives. We think about what something means to us because maybe we've been conditioned all our lives. Again, what is yellow? Well, we've been told all our lives the sun, the bright sunshine is yellow, a daisy, or I don't know, something like that. So we all think of the same thing when we think of yellow. But that's just a value that got assigned to yellow. Or that's like, a dollar bill. What value is that? It's just a piece of a certain kind of paper, right? Somebody had to say this dollar is worth X. What is the value of that? So what's my point in saying all this? My point is that when we have these different things that happen to us in our lives or that we observe or any of that kind of stuff, we can decide how, what value we want to attach to that and like what kind of really you can get down to like what power it's going to have over us or how we're going to react to it potentially. So, I mean, I can think of an example now, like this, the N word, right? I mean, there's a million examples, anything. Someone says the N word to you, if you're a black person in America, especially, when someone calls you, I'll just say a nigger. Oh, some people be so offended and ready to fight and angry and want to cuss you out and all this. It can engender like, and it has wars basically and all this stuff. But it could also be like you look at the person and go, "What?" Like it could completely not ruffle your feathers because like I told my son all the time, I'm like, if someone says that to you, that's what they're placing on that. Do you identify with that? Like, does that mean something to you? No, it's like it's whatever value you give it. Or, if we're told, I mean, you think about like religion, the values that people have around religion, like what's a sin or what's a good person or what is a Christian or a Muslim or whatever. It's all based upon either someone else's value that we've been told through school or family or society or whatever that this is okay or this is not okay. This is something that's worth, paying a lot of money for or worth getting upset about, and this is what's not. I mean, look at what's happening right now around the world. They use values. We place value judgments on people, on societies, on actions and all that. And we use that to separate. I mean, families get divided over that, nations get divided over that. It's us versus them, the people who look like this or worship like this or live in that place or who do these things, we're assigning values to those things. And so then we can justify dropping a bomb or claiming that someone is hi Greg, I'm just seeing this. I'm talking about value, right? And what it means to place a value on something and how we then can control what happens in our lives by what we decide something means. So if you are told your whole life, hey, those people over there, whoever they are, the neighbors across the street, people who are hicks, rednecks, ghetto, rich people, people in another country, whatever, those people, we're assigning a value to them. They're bad, they're stupid, they're smarter than us, they're anything. Then we begin to internalize that and behave in a way based upon what someone has told us that value is and what we then believe it to be, right? But here's the thing, we have a choice. We have a choice. It's like, who said those people or that kind of belief or that action or whatever, that color means something? Who said pink is for girls and blue is for boys? Why? I'm sure there's men out there who wear pink shirts and they look great in them, right? Like, when did that get to be the judgment, the value judgment about that? And so you could be like, well, who cares? Who cares, Kelly? I care because that means that I can have control over some things in my life that maybe I've been stumbling on before. Like I could be, as they say, triggered by something because I hear someone say, or I think that a certain, again, event or person or belief or whatever means something to me. So I'll use the $5,000 again. So if I say, oh, I have $5,000 in my bank account, I can say, oh no, that's terrible, and believe, place a value that that's bad, it's not enough, it's lack, all that. Or I can think that's fantastic. Or I can just say, like, be neutral, like it just is. I can look at my account statement and say, okay, this is what I see, 5,000, 10,000, 100,000, whatever, and just be like, okay, that's just like a fact. Or maybe I should even say fact because in terms of like people and stuff, is it a fact that someone is like if you use beauty standards, someone is ugly? Is that a fact? Like, you have to just determine for yourself what something means. So, maybe this is landing with some of you, maybe not. But I really began to think about it after I had this conversation earlier. And like, really, how am I perceiving um, certain things in my life, in the world, um, things that we pass down to our children, things that we talk about in our families, in our communities, at work, all that kind of stuff. Like, how are we using information um, to make decisions about ourselves and about other people? And how can we use it potentially more usefully to have better outcomes, right? So the next time you think about what does this mean, or oh, I got some terrible news, or I got some news, and I'm assigning the value that it's bad news, or I'm assigning value that, oh, therefore I think this about a person, or that kind of thing. I'm just saying, I'm inviting you to consider a different way of like thinking about it. Everybody right now can think of a situation in their lives. Think of something that you can consider a problem. You know, you don't have enough gas in your car. You got to put some gas in your car. That means you have to get up early in the morning. You weren't planning to. Somebody called you with an issue at work. Someone in your family. Blah blah blah. You have high blood pressure. Whatever it could be, you don't have to necessarily make that into something bad. Conversely, the good things, it's like, okay, we can decide that they're good, or they can just be a thing. Am I making sense to anybody out there? Is anybody with me? Maybe this message was just for me today, but I really was thinking about it. I'm on this hike and I just kept going over and over again, like, wow, this really, it's almost like a little rabbit hole. You can really go down in it. And like I said, what is red? Who said, like, why are Valentines red all the time? How come they can't be blue? Right? Because it's a heart. Well, who said a heart's red? Okay, because there's blood. All right. Does that mean that that's the heart inside of us? The shape heart, does that have to be red or pink? Like, red, do you understand what I'm saying? It's like it, nothing is what is anything until we decide that it is. Thank you, Darlene. Thank you, Nicole. That's what I'm talking about. It's like, yes, yes. It's just, I think who is this? Moroccan American. Wonderful. Thought is the cause of it all. Exactly. Thank you. It really does mean something. And I just basically I took it for myself because I'm like, I'm choosing to have control over the things in my life and not feel like, okay, this circumstance means something because someone else said this is a bad thing or this is a good thing. It's like I get to decide. And maybe I decide nothing. Let's take money, right? Because people get very triggered by money. Most people are like, I don't have enough, and oh, it's a problem, and all this kind of stuff. There are a lot of people out there with a lot of money, but even some people who have tons of money keep getting it because they're fearful about losing it. They don't want to go broke. I have a girlfriend who's told me all the time, she has what she called a bag lady mentality. She didn't ever want to run out and be a bag lady. So she would always have all these side hustles and this job and that job. And I was like, what are you doing? And to the point where she would stress herself out and get sick and, have all the ailments or whatever. And she would say to me, you're always so chill and everything. And like, how can you just be super chill? Hugh. Hi, Hugh. Thank you. It's so nice to hear from you. It's been forever. Um, and she would say to me, "You're so relaxed all the time." And I was like, "Well, that's just my personality." But also, I didn't always have a lot of money, right? I was like, "Okay, well, I don't know, I'll figure it out." And so it's just a matter of us choosing our thoughts, absolutely, and not letting an outer circumstance control us because we believe or have been taught to believe by whatever means that there's something that it necessarily means something. Okay? So for me, for example, yes, I would, if I think about money, there are definitely times I thought, oh no, I don't have enough. And what am I going to do? And oh, I should have more at this point, or I should have prepared, or I should, all that kind of stuff that we can get into. And it's not really helpful. I mean, if you use it to motivate yourself to do more, to, have a better relationship, to take better care of your body, to, all that kind of stuff, great. But if it's just sort of leading you to anxiety or being a nasty person, I don't know, whatever, then it's, I guess I would ask, rather than assigning what it is, ask yourself, is this helpful? Is this how I want to feel? what is it that I ultimately want to achieve in my life and feel, not like achieve necessarily like an accolade, like a position or a degree. I mean, if that's what you're after, that's fine. But I'm talking about like I want to feel peace. I want to have a sense of freedom. Okay, so sometimes we get bogged down by others' thoughts of what's valuable to them. We do. We do. And obviously it happens in families from the time that we're little, we get indoctrinated, you know, be a good girl, be a good boy. Well, what does that mean? Who's determining what good is? And is it good if, let's say, that child has experienced some trauma? Maybe that's the best that kid can be during that time. Maybe your kid comes home and did really terribly on their report card and you want to be all upset about it, but there's a reason for that. Maybe, you have a, I don't know, cantankerous whoever in your family or your boss or something like that, and you're like, "Why is this person so nasty?" Well, look behind the curtain, maybe there's something else going on. So, I mean, there's endless examples, but I think you guys know what I'm talking about. And so what I'm saying is, let's each take agency over our own experience and our own yeah, our experiences in life and decide, is this something that I want to, assign a bad value to, a positive value, maybe not even have a value at all. Again, with money, like a lot of people can identify with the, emotionalism around money, good or bad. Maybe we just disconnect from that. So if you find yourself going down the rabbit hole of like, oh no, I don't have enough, what about that? And it's leading you to feel anxious or to want to hoard or whatever kind of experience you're having, maybe you just shift your thoughts and go, you know what? Money is really just like it's an energy thing. And so if you think about, okay, well, do I want money in my life? Yes, I do. I want to have it like a friend. So money's going to be my friend. I'm its friend. It's my friend. Well, how do you treat a friend? Are you freaking out about it? Is she going to call me? What about, oh, I haven't seen you since last week. Do you still care about me? No, you're not. It's like, hey, what's going on? I know I'm going to see you. We always enjoy when we get together. Do we always have the exact same point of view? No, but we can still be friends. Like there's just a more relaxed feeling about it. And so if we take the angst and the fear and the whatever, particularly negative emotions, out of whatever we are experiencing, then we allow a whole new opening for something else to show up. That's it. That's it. So assign the value that you choose, that you prefer, or maybe just don't have any value at all. Maybe just let it be what it is, right? It's like what they say, if a tree falls in the wood, does anybody hear and nobody's there, does it make a sound? I don't know. Does it really matter? Like everything doesn't have to be something. Everything doesn't have to have a whole big meaning behind it. Again, you have $50,000 in your account or 5,000 or $2 or negative $2. I'm not saying that you want to live your life with negative or little, but it doesn't mean that things are bad. It just means that that's what it is. And you have the power to make a change. Period. It might take you some time. It might take you some time to repair a relationship. It might take you some time to get your car fixed, anything like that. But it just it's an is. And so if we release our our sentiment, our expectation, all that, then it frees us up to just, okay, take a deep breath and then let something else come into the picture, which can be whatever it is we want it to be. So now I feel like I have said it many different ways, many times, and that is what I will leave you with today. That is my shared, what I feel like is some wisdom, and I hope it blesses you. Mwah. Peace and love as always. It's nice to be back. I'll see you when I see you. Okay, thanks you guys for checking it out. How do I turn this off now?